When the class teacher came into the classroom and called me to see him outside, I was surprised. I started wondering what I had done. I tried to think back to any mischievous act I may have done in the past few days. Had I failed an exam? Was I in trouble for something I did during recess? But nothing came to mind. My palms were sweaty, and my heart was racing. The walk to the door felt like a mile, and I was trembling as I stepped out into the hallway. As I walked towards the teacher, I noticed a group of students huddled in a corner, whispering and pointing in my direction. I began to panic, thinking that they knew something I didn't. My teacher's stern face confirmed my fears. He looked at me and said,
"Tom, I'm afraid I have some bad news. You have been expelled from school."
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My heart sank, and I felt like my world had crumbled. The teacher went on to explain that there had been numerous reports of illicit drug use in the school, and after an investigation, it was found that I was the one responsible for supplying drugs to my fellow students and even the villagers. I was stunned. I had never sold or used any drugs, and it felt like a terrible case of mistaken identity.
"I'm afraid we have no choice but to expel you from school, Tom. This kind of behavior cannot be tolerated,"
the teacher said, his voice final. I felt tears welling up in my eyes as I pleaded with the teacher to listen to me, but he wouldn't give me a chance to explain. He said that I was supposed to report to Kianduta Chief Post to begin my parole, and that the police would be notified of my expulsion. I walked back into the classroom in a daze, unsure of what to do next. The other students looked at me with a mix of pity and confusion, and I could feel their eyes on me. I could hear whispers and snickers from some of the more juvenile students, making me feel even more embarrassed and isolated. The teacher called everyone to attention and asked me to stand up in front of the class. He went on to explain that I had been expelled for supplying drugs, and that my behavior had been unacceptable. I could feel my cheeks burning with shame as the other students stared at me. Just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, the teacher suddenly burst out laughing.
"April Fool's Day, Tom,"
he exclaimed.
"You're not expelled. In fact, you've been promoted to the position of head student."
I could hardly believe what I was hearing. I stared at the teacher in disbelief, and then at the other students who were now grinning and clapping. Relief washed over me, followed by a surge of happiness. As it turned out, the whole thing had been a prank, and the teacher had orchestrated it to teach me a lesson about the importance of avoiding bad company. Although it had been a frightening experience, I was grateful for the opportunity to learn about the value of honesty and good behavior. Thanks for joining me on this journey of storytelling. The PDF script can be downloaded from our YouTube channel description. Stay tuned for more captivating stories in the future. And don't forget to like and share these stories with anyone who could benefit from them. See you next time.